Yeah, hi everyone. It's a brand new day. It's the first day of April 2026. I wish everyone a wonderful new month. Okay, so let's dive into the analysis for today. Just to, we had a very yesterday during the live session yesterday. I if you can go and check the live session yesterday where I said, hey, that nobody should underrate Bosna, right? That if you look at their analysis, you go and look at the video yesterday, it's still on, right? If you look at their analysis, you can see, right, that both of them they had in their last five games they had played they had scored an average of one goal and conceded one goal. Both of them. So I said yesterday, you can go and check the video, it's still on our page. I said yesterday that nobody should underrate Bosnia. I particularly said it, so I want to say congratulations to them. It's just so bad that they've not been able to qualify for the last four World Cup now. Yeah, so having said that, let's dive into the Do Quick platform for analysis. Do Quick sport analysis. It's zero manipulations, the home of pure sport analysis for bettors, bloggers, fans. Here we don't give predictions. We don't analyze based on vibes, based on forms, based on intuition. No, we don't do that. We analyze based on datas, pure datas. These datas are gotten from the performances of these teams, based on datas and the performances of the teams, right? That's what we use in analyzing our games here. Just to remind us that we have a partnership, a referral partnership system where you can refer new members, and once they subscribe, you get 20%. Right? You get 20% of of the subscription, lifetime subscription, not just a one time. Every time they subscribe, every time they renew, every time they, if you have 10,000 people that you have, users that you have what's it called, introduced, every time they renew, you get 20% of that. All you just need to do is go, when you register, you copy your link. This is your link. Once you copy it, you can do a write up and just keep posting. Anybody registers through your referral link directly comes. You don't need to know anybody to get registration. So let's go back to business of today. So we are going to look at, so because we don't have a lot of football games today, we're just going to look at the Champions League, the Women Champions League match between Bayern Munich and Manchester United, and then we're going to jump into NBA games that will be played later in the night. So let's also look at the NBA games and analyze what they look like. Okay, if you look at our feature for today is actually an NBA game today. So let's see our feature games for today. Okay, okay, okay. So sometimes the speed of the platform depends on the speed that you have. Here in Lagos, we're managing our speed. Okay, so the today the games of this between our feature games for today is between Chicago Bulls and Indiana Pacers. All right. So, but before we get to the NBA games, let's just quickly look at the game between the Women Champions League game today between Bayern Munich and Manchester United. Women Champions League. Let's look at it and see what we have. All right. Okay, so if you look at what we have here, okay, so you will see that so we always start with our last five matches. Last five matches. If you look at our last five matches from the overall, what it tells me from overall is that Bayern Munich are going to have a sweat day with Manchester United today. That's what I see from here. But if you look at the overall already, you see that in the last five games, Bayern Munich, they've scored an average of three goals and conceded 0.4 at overall. And Manchester United in their last five games, Manchester United women in their last five games, they have scored an average of 0.8 and conceded an average of almost 2. So it's going to be a swell time for Bayern Munich women against Manchester United today. I'm not sure if Manchester United will be able to score against this team. So let's look at their last 5 games. You can see from their last 5 games when both of them they are playing at home. You can see that Manchester United, Bayern Munich, they scored an average of 2 goals and conceded zero in their last 5 games. They've conceded zero in their last 5 games. Meanwhile, when United they are playing at home, they've scored one and conceded an average of 2 goals in their last 5 games. Okay, let's see when both teams are playing away when both teams are playing away, right, you can see that even away, in fact, from what I can see here, on an average from the last 5, Bayern Munich, they even score more goals when they are playing away, right, than when they are playing at home in their last 5 games. You can see it here. When they are playing away in their last 5 games, they have scored an average of 3.5 goals, an average of 3.5 goals. In the last 5 games, they've been destructive. The Bayern Munich women team, they have been destructive in their last 5 games. They've scored an average of 3.5 goals and have conceded almost 0 goals in their last 5 games. That means they concede one in every other games. That's why you have an average of 0.5 here. They are destructive at away, even more destructive when they are playing away than home. And you can see Manchester United, they have scored 0 goals in their last 5 games, and they've conceded an average of one in their last 5 games. Right. So if you look at this is for full time, right? You can also look at this. You can look at this option also for half time. Right. So if you look at the last 10 games, what have both of them played in their last 10 games? Average, we always this whole our platform is set on average because that's what the bookies use in setting their odds average, right? That's what they use. So yeah, so this it aligns with what the bookies use to set their odds. If you look at in their last 10 games, you see right from here, you see that in their last 10 games, Bayern, when both of them they are playing at home, Bayern Munich they've scored 3 goals and conceded 0.3. So that means they concede in their last 10 games, they concede one out of every 3 games. That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy form from Bayern Munich. Crazy form. I'm impressed. Where Manchester United actually they have been a little bit better from the last 10 games. So that means if they've been better for the last 10 games, that means their form dropped, right? When in the last 5 games, right? So when they are playing away, also Bayern Munich they've scored an average of 3 goals and considered an average of 0.4, while Manchester United they scored an average of 1.3 and conceded 0.5 in their last 10 games. You can also look at all season what they have conceded. All right. You can look at halftime for those who like the halftime or the halftime outcomes. You can look at the halftime also. Okay, so let's look at their H to H in their last 10 games. In their last 10 games, Bayern Munich, they've won all their games without losing none. Okay, while Manchester United, they're on a 60% form. That's last 10 games. Let's look at last 5 games. Let's see. Obviously, Bayern Munich will still be on 100% form because, yeah, so they've been on 100% form. You see, Manchester United has dropped form. So, of course, it shows during, for their goal scored that they have really, really dropped form. All right, so they met once, and then Bayern Munich have won Manchester United, and it was an away game 3-2. All right, so so you can also look at their last 5 games, the corner, right? You can look at their corner kicks. You can see Bayern Munich when they are playing home, they have an average of, and they played an average of 10 corner kicks. They've not given out any corner kick in their last 5 games. While Manchester United, when they are playing at home, right, they've scored and they've played an average of 5 corner kicks and conceded 4 when they are playing at home. When both of them they are playing away, Bayern Munich have had an average of um, 4 corner kicks and giving and considered 3 corner kicks. Right. What about foul? And you can see foul when Bayern Munich they are playing at home in the last 5 games, they have they have an average of 9 compared to and they've conceded an average of 11. While Manchester United, they have, when they are playing at home, they have had an average of 4 and conceded 6. You can also look at the shots on goal. Right, what does shots on goal look like? You can look at the offsides. Right, you can look at their goalkeeper save. You can look at the yellow cards. Okay, you can look at the yellow cards. This is for goalkeepers save. You can look at the yellow cards. Both of them they've been okay for yellow cards. Average of 1, and they've considered they've received average of 2 yellow cards. Right, compared to Manchester United, they've also average of 1 yellow card and received and considered average of 2. You can look at their red card. Both of the teams have not considered red card in the last 5 games. Okay, so this is the analysis for Manchester United and Bayern Munich. All right, so you can go to the platform also for if you're a football fan, you can go to the platform. Just use these patterns that I use to also analyze the games that you want to play. Whether you want to play over games, whether you want to play under games, you can see if you can see here. We don't give our predictions. We just state the analysis. All you need to do is now look at it, query the system, get your facts, get your analysis, and make your own predictions yourselves. That's how it works here, okay? Yeah, so we just said we're going to look at the game between Manchester United and Bayern Munich. So let me just take it out from favorite. So that's out of our favorite. Okay. So we go back and get it out. So yeah. So what we are now going to do now, we're going to dive into the NBA games for today. And some will be played across today and tomorrow morning. Okay, so let's start with our feature game, which is the game between Chicago Bulls and Indiana Pacers. So let's look at their numbers in the Do Quick platform. We don't analyze based on vibes. We don't analyze based on assumptions. We analyze based on datas, and these datas are gotten from scoreboard, licensed scoreboard. That's where we get our datas from, based on their past performances. Okay, so let's look at it now. Let's look at Chicago Bulls versus Indiana Pacers. Okay, if you look at it, we always start with our last five matches. You look at the last 5 matches. If you go to home, you can see that in their last 5 matches, Chicago Bulls, they've scored an average of 132 points, and they have conceded an average of 124 points. Okay, when they are playing at home, very, very, very key when they are playing at home, not when they are playing away, when they are playing at home. The Do Quick platform is able to distribute their games between away and home in their last 5 games, in their last 10 games, and all season, right? You can say last 5 games, full time or half time, last 10 games, full time or half time, all season, full time or half time, okay? So we're just looking at the last 5 games now. Look at the last 5 games. What about Indiana Pacers? Indiana Pacers are playing away today, so we're going to look at how do they perform when they are playing away in their last 5 games. When they are playing away for Indiana Pacers, they've scored an average of 123 goals, 123 points, and they've considered an average of 130 points when they are playing away in their last 5 games. Okay, you now look at their last 10 games. Now look at their last 10 games, okay? What have they played? When Chicago Bulls, they playing away at home, they've scored an average of 120 points and have considered an average of 121 points. What about Chicago and Indiana Pacers when they are playing away? When they are playing away, they have scored an average of 120 points and considered an average of 133 points, okay? Yeah, so that's what their stats look like. Let's just look at last 5 matches. Okay, let's look at their last 5 matches, then half time, right? Last 5 matches and half time. Okay, last match and half time. You can see when Indiana Bulls, when they are playing away, when they are playing at home, sorry, you can see they've scored an average of 65 points and conceded 48 points when they are playing at home. What about Indiana Pacers? When they are playing away, Indiana Pacers, they scored an average of 56 points and have conceded an average of 65 points when they are playing away in their last 5 games, half time. Okay, that's the analysis for this. When Chicago Bulls, they are playing at home in their last 5 games, half time, this has been their average scores, all right, at home. Okay, when Indiana Pacers are playing away in their last 5 games, halftime, this has been their score away. All right, so that's how you analyze with the do quick platform. Okay, so let's look at their history. So let's go back to full time so we don't miss stuff together. Okay, so let's look at their H to H. Let's look at that head to head. Okay, in their last 5 games, you can see that Indiana Pacers generally they've been on form more than Chicago Bulls. Okay, let's look at their last 10 games. Who has been on form in their last 10 games? Both of them they've been on 20% form. And let's go to their last 5 games. Let's see the last 5 games. You can see that so this the last time they met 5 times, Chicago Bulls has won two, Indiana Pacers has won three. Okay, so you can look at their H2H direct history when playing against each other. You can look at their upcoming matches. This represents their last 5 games. You can look at okay, what have they played all season? Okay, you can look at what have they played all season. All right, when you look at what they have played all season, this will pull out all their games for this season. You can look at it all season. You can analyze. You want that all season. Actually, Chicago Bulls has been on form more than Indiana Pacers all season. So you can go there. Their feed goals. All right, their feed goals. This is all season. It's going to take a long time to pull. So let's take it to 5 games.